Okay, so let's take a look at the solo and the middle 8 section here in Panama. Leading into the solo, we do have a quick little rhythm figure that just kind of leads us into the solo. It comes out of it's at the very end of the second chorus. Instead of leading back into the verse, we're going to have this little thing. Okay, so that is going to basically just lead us into the chorus. The solo. So we're going to have this C9 chord. We're going to have the 3rd fret on the A string. You're going to mute with the bottom of that second finger, the D string. Then you're going to have the G string open, and then the 3rd fret on the B string. Then you're going to move the note on the 5th string down to the 2nd fret. And then to the A power chord, then back to that C9, C add 9, sorry. And when you play the chord, pull off that on the 3rd fret on the A string to the open A. So we got this. Okay, so that's just a quick little figure that happens going straight into the solo. So let's take a look at this solo. The first phrase of the solo is going to be this. So that is going to be, start with a unison bend with your 7th fret here on the B string and the 9th fret on the G string. Hit those together and bend the G string up a whole step. So they become in unison. Then you're going to have, it's kind of a Chuck Berry thing, the 7th fret barred across the high E and the B string. Hit those twice. And from then on, you're just going to continue doing a whole step bend on the G string, the 9th fret, and playing those 2 bars again. All right, on the 4th time, you're going to do this. And that's going to be whole step bend, the 9th fret again, the G, release, pull off to the 7th fret, and then hammer back onto the 9th. Then you do a bar dive right as you're bending up the 9th fret again. And when you release the bar dive, you come to a full bend on the 9th fret. So we have this. All right, this next phrase is a little legato lick. I'll slow it down for you real quick. All right, so let's do it really slow just so you can get the phrasing of it, and then I'll rock you through the notes. All right, so what we have here is going to be a whole step bend once again at the 9th fret on the G. Then hammer from 7 to 10 on the B and pull back off to 7. Come back down to the 9th fret on the G. So we have this. All right, and now we have this little lick here. It's going to be a hammer from 7 to 10 back to pull off back to 7 again. Roll over to the 7th fret on the high E, then pull off 10 to 7 on the B, and then play 9 on the G. So that lick all together is. Now he's going to do that lick twice in a row. So we started with this. Then we start the lick. So all together, that little. Then we have the 7th fret on the B string here. Pull off from 10 to 9 to 7 on the G string. A little blues scale. hammer back onto the 9th fret, and then play 7 on the B string. So we have, and you're going to end that phrase with a whole step bend at the 7th fret on the G string. I like to shift back and grab it like that. Or you might just want to go bend with your first finger and just bend it downward. So all together, put those all together. Okay, let's do it real slow. All right, now we have the 9th fret, whole step bend again on the G string, and a tapping figure. While you're holding the whole step bend, you're going to tap on the same string. You're going to tap the 14th fret, pull back off. So we get this. So the notes I'm tapping, 14 to 12, back to 14, 16, back to 14, and back down to 12. And then release the bend. So we get this. Okay, now when you get down, when you release the bend, we have another one is pull off, bar dive on the bend, and then pull off to 7. And then we're going to end the solo with this. So we have, you're going to have a slight bend at the 7th fret on the G string with an artificial harmonic on it. Then pick that note again. Then mute the 9th fret on the D string, then 9th on the A. And then come back to the 7th again. And do the 7, 9, 9 as again. So we got this. Then 8 on the A, 7. And then the 5th fret, whole step bend. All right? So that takes us into the middle 8 section. And this is when he's going to bring back his volume knob a little bit, and so it's not so intrusive. There's a lot of little variations going on here, so I'm just going to kind of work you through it. But it's pretty simplistic. So we're going to have this, and I'll play through the whole section. Oh, sorry. All right, so it's kind of lengthy, but you know, it's really cool, moody part. So we're gonna start it with a slide into the 9th fret on the A string, hammer on 10, pull back off to 9. Then 10 on the low E, then a whole step bend at the 7th fret on the A string, release, and slide down to the 2nd fret on the A string. So we have then we kind of, the same figure again, sliding up to 9. Same little hammer pull off. Then 10 on the E, back to 9 on the A, then 10, 9 again. Then we're going to hit a C power chord. 8th fret on the low E, 10th fret on the A string. So we have this. Then the same figure again. Hammer-ons, pull off 10 to 9, then 10 to 7. Then you're going to hit this E power chord, 7 on the A string, and then the 9 on the D and the G. Back up to the hammer-on, down to the 10th fret on the low E. Now this little thing right here, we have this first fret on the low E. We're going to have the 4th string open, the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and the 2nd and 1st string open. We're going to pick the 6th string, then the D, then the G string, then you're going to pick the 1st, 2nd, 3rd string. And try to let those just all ring together. So slowly what we've got so far. All right, then we continue with the same kind of phrase. The hammer pull off, 10th fret on low E. So we have, this is going to be the, coming down to the E power chord the first time, hit that twice, and then play the 7s on the 2 middle strings, the G and the D, and then back to the E power chord. Back to the 9, 10 hammer pull and the 10 on the. Now we have it on the, after this part of it, this little, we keep repeating this phrase. That's one ending of it, and then you do the phrase again. But this time you work off of the C note on the low 6th string. So we have, so that's the 8th fret on the low E and the 9th fret on the A. And then you end that, you add the 10th fret on, above that 9 to resolve it up. So this. And then you back to the same phrase before. Back to the E a few times, then back to the. All right, so let me just kind of show you. So after this part, let's put it together here. I think I missed a little section there. So we have that little thing. So after we've gone to the E once and then the C once, it goes to this. That is that same hammer-on figure, pull off 10 on the low E, slide now 9 back to 7 on the A string. Let it ring a little bit and then do a quick hammer pull at the 9th fret, back to 7. Okay, then back to the sliding and hammer-on figure, and back to the C. Okay, then we slide back up again, and just have the, after the slide parts, we do the E power chord a few times, then to the C. All right, so let me put together all that we have so far. It's a lot of little variations, but it's easier just to watch it. I'll play through it very slow, but you should know, since we're repeating a lot of things, about what's going on, so you can just play along with me playing very slowly here, and after a couple of times, I'm sure you'll get all the parts in order. So here we go. Now we can get down to the little build-up section that leads into the chorus again. That section is going to be... So that starts with an open E power chord, then some palm muting on it, then the F power chord, which is the first fret on the low 6th string with the 3rd fret on the A and the D, then palm mute that after the initial hit. Then we're going to have a D chord with a in first inversion here. So that's going to be this open D power chord that we did earlier, the 3rd fret here on the B string, 2nd fret on the G, and the D string open, and the low F sharp here with your thumb. Hit the chord open, and you can have that open A in there too, but it's up to you. And then to the G, all you really need to do is have this 3rd finger here now, the 2nd finger here now at the 3rd fret, keeping this 3rd finger here at the on the 2nd string. You're going to mute the open A underneath this, just to make it like a G power chord. Hit it open, then some palm muting. So we got... Now here's where he starts letting the chords ring out. We're going to have an E major chord in first inversion here. The 2nd finger at the 4th fret on the low E string. It will also mute the open A string here. Then the 1st finger at the 2nd fret on the D string. The 3rd finger at the 4th fret on the G string, and then the pinky at the 5th fret on the B string. Hit that and let that ring. And then do the palm muting. So we didn't immediately kill it. We just went. Then the open A power chord. This next B flat, we're going to have the B flat on it's the 1st fret on the A string, and then the D and the G strings open, all the way to the B power chord, the 2nd fret off the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, 4th fret on the D and the G. Hit it and then start building up the tension and kill it. So we have this. Okay, and that leads us back into the outro. The outro chorus. The outro chorus is the same as all the other choruses, except it ends up right in the middle of nowhere. It ends with a little. So you're going to have like this. Okay, I believe it's right after the 6th time. I might be wrong, but it's right around there. If you know the song, it's quite obvious when that happens. So, and you just do the little slide. Okay, so I hope you guys had fun learning Panama. It's a really great song. It's a really crowd pleaser. It's got some really cool Eddie licks in it. So you can't go wrong with that. All right, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.